What would you tell baby Mara with everything that you know now?
You are enough. You're more than enough. Stand in your power. You're more competent than you think. And don't believe the hype. Don't believe what the world is trying to sell you, because it's not, the devil is a lie.
Today I'm visiting a dear friend, someone I connected with instantly. Part of that bond came from sharing a lived experience as a woman of color, growing up in the US, and also being women creatives, specifically Black women in the media.
I'm Mara S Campo.
Mara S Campo is an Emmy Award Winning journalist, media personality, and entrepreneur whose career spans major networks. A trailblazer in media, she has covered some of the most pressing stories of our time. Now, Mara is making waves in the hair and beauty space.
Hair by Mara is my hair brand that I'm coming out with soon.
Her work continues to inspire, breaking barriers in both journalism and beauty.
People are watching this video. I don't know how many gazillion views it had.
This one is almost 7 million right now.
Wait, what? Did you just cut your own hair right there?
It doesn't extension.
Oh, extension.
This is the lab. This is where all the magic happens. So I'm always set up here.
Yes.
So that I can shoot whatever. I try to shoot pretty much everything I do getting ready, but it slows me down tremendously.
Got it.
So if I'm running late, I will not shoot because then I'll be really late. So this is makeup. This is makeup.
Wow, look at all those palettes.
This is makeup.
Oh my
and
goodness.
Then this is hair.
Yep.
So this is tools, and this is product.
Yep.
And then in the closet, I have overflow for product. This is my office.
Yes.
And it's like an office / beauty sanctuary. So so all the girls are here. There's a couple that are missing because they've just been washed. And then the one I'm wearing now.
Yes.
And then I have several under here in bags. They're like the B team. And I have like a lot of supplies under here. So.
Incredible. Thank you so much for making me tea.
Of course, you're welcome.
I appreciate it.
In my fanciest mug.
It's absolutely gorgeous. Tell me about your cultural and ethnic background.
So my father was Italian, first generation immigrant, and my mother was Black American. But what was interesting in our house, my mother cooked, which most Black mothers do, but because her husband was Italian, and my mother was an amazing cook, and my mother cooked every single night. It's how hair and makeup is my joy, cooking was her joy.
I love that.
That was her stress release.
Yeah.
She would come home, change her clothes, put on the radio, pour a glass of wine, and be in the kitchen for about 3 hours every single night.
How do you feel like your childhood shaped the foods that come into your home now with your family?
If we're being honest, I'm very disappointed in myself. I wish that I could live up to what my mother was able to create for me and my family growing up, because we really buy a lot of pre-made foods, so like rotisserie chicken or like vegetables that are in that microwave bag that you just microwave, because we just don't have the time and the bandwidth.
Yeah. I hear you.
We're just trying to get these kids fed every night and hopefully have a carb, a protein, and a vegetable. And that's our goal every night, is can we get those 3 things on the plate?
I love that. One of the things that I have always admired about you, and I remember talking to you about being a Black woman in media, would you share how you shaped or really helped this come into fruition as you are now?
What was always clear to me was that I was going to have to find some way to distinguish myself because of all the things that come with being a Black woman, all of the assumptions, all of the challenges. And so I always knew I was going to have to do a little extra, a little bit above and beyond to get to where I wanted to be. And so the way that I did that was by going freelance and traveling internationally. So I was working as a local news reporter, and I packed my stuff in a backpack and I started traveling around the world as a freelance international journalist. I did that for 18 months and got recruited by all of the networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, and CNN.
I remember talking to you also about being comfortable in your own body. How have you thought about integrating health with your career, because it's so public?
Yeah, that's a big thing for me, specifically my weight. My father was very, very restrictive when it came to weight. He was first generation Italian, as
Yeah.
misogynistic as they come.
Yep.
And so his message for his girls was, don't get fat, don't be ugly, because no one's gonna want you. And so as a child, through my entire childhood, I was forced to weigh myself. I would get punished if I gained weight. I would have, I would be rewarded with food if I lost weight, which you can imagine what that does to
Counterintuitive.
When I think about it now, it's like, what? You were setting me up for an eating disorder.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. And then I had a terrible eating disorder through my 20s. It was binge eating disorder. And this was before it was even diagnosed. So I used to joke, I have bulimia without the purging.
Yeah.
Then when it was diagnosed, I remember the day that it hit the news, and I remember reading the description, and I was like, oh my God, this is what I have.
Yeah.
Like, there actually is a problem that I can, try to have addressed. And then after I had my daughter, I was trying to lose baby weight because I wanted to get back into my work clothes. And that's when I discovered fitness. Really, the first time I ever worked out was after I had my daughter, when I was in my 30s. I, work out a lot because strength training is important to me, but it's real freedom and peace. I'm at peace with it. And I also am like so much more forgiving.
Yeah.
Like, I held myself to insane standards when I was younger. And now it's the reverse. Like, when I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh, you're doing good, girl. Like, I'm just loving everything that I see. Oh.
Yep, Dolce agrees.
Yeah. Well, dogs sense energy. So when you're getting excited, they're like, what are we getting excited about?
There are all these women that watch you. Like, what would you want to tell them just in relation to kind of how they're thinking about their beauty and their health?
I wish people realize the society really has an interest in keeping women small. And one of the ways that we do it is by setting impossible beauty standards. It's impossible to attain them. If you're skinny, you need to eat a sandwich. If you're bigger, you need to eat a salad. If you're, young and you're putting on makeup, it's like, why is she trying to look older? And you're older, it's like, is she trying to look young? She's not dressing her age. It is impossible to meet the standards. That is what I've come to realize. And that's by design, is that if you can take these powerful creatures and throw them off and make them question their worth and their value, then that diminishes their power. And that is what is done to women.
Yeah.
So what I would really love for young women, young girls to be able to do is to block out all the noise and to look in the mirror and to see the beauty that God created, and then to stand in that power.